Hey everyone, I am Bianca. Welcome back. I am going to show y'all some Dollar Tree DIYs for Christmas. These are more on the rustic side. I did a poll recently here on YouTube and asked y'all what y'all wanted to see next, and this was in first place. So I believe the next DIYs are going to be, I think next in line was white Christmas DIYs. I'll let y'all know in the next video, but I also want to just say thank you so much for the prayers. Recently, I had got a little scare and I got really sick. This past Friday, I had like flu-like symptoms, so I went and got tested, and thankfully Monday morning I found out it was negative, and also I woke up feeling so much better. Oh my gosh, I was so scared, guys, and I know many of you have went through this with this whole pandemic and everything that's going on. Again, thank you so much. I posted it here on YouTube that I wasn't feeling too well, and also over on Instagram, and I had many of you pray and let me know that you were thinking about me and that I will be better in no time, and that the videos could wait because I had said that I had so many things planned, and you know, things happen where sometimes you just have to take a break, and I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you again, and let's get into the video. For the first DIY, I'm going to use this Dollar Tree star, and as you can see, it is super glittery. I do not want any part of this glitter for my rustic DIYs today. So I'm going to take some Dollar Tree twine, and I'm going to start by wrapping it at the end of one of the corners. Just really easily, I'm going to add a dab of glue. Place the twine right there at the end, let it kind of dry, and then I'll start wrapping it. And I'm just going to randomly add hot glue wherever I think I need to add some, just so the twine stays in place. I'm going to add more hot glue on the back and start wrapping the next corner. Once I have all the corners wrapped, now I need to fill in the center with the twine. So I'm just going to add more hot glue and slowly start to fill in the center. So once I get in the center, I'll just cut off the excess and then finish the rest. Now I want to add contrast to my star, so I picked up this creamy yarn and I want to outline the star with it. This was super cheap. I bought it from Walmart for not even $2. I believe it was like $1.77, and it comes with quite a bit. I did go to Dollar Tree and try to look for like some nautical robe, but I couldn't find any, but I do know they have it. I'm just going to add hot glue and outline the whole star. Once I finish outlining the star, I decided to add a little bit more detail with the yarn in the middle of the star. I looked outside my window where children lighting up the Christmas tree, and the snow is falling. It reminds me of the good times, those winters we would spend just you and me. It's been such a long time, but tomorrow's Christmas Day. And I am And I just finished that by cutting off the excess yarn from there. What I'm going to do is connect the star to this piece of shim. I bought a pack of these a long time ago from Home Depot. They came with more than like 30 pieces. They had them around the checkout area for not even $5. I'm just going to sand it down real quick, and then I'm going to use my white chalk paint, and I am going to add a little bit of water to my brush. I like to do that because my white chalk paint is really thick. I like it when my brush is wet because it also doesn't waste that much chalk paint either. But if you don't have a piece of wood like this, you can use a ruler from Dollar Tree or a wooden dowel, whatever you have on hand. So to give the shim a rustic look, I'm taking a bristled brush and some of my wax, Waverly wax. If you don't have it, again, I always tell y'all can use brown paint, or recently a viewer told me you can use some shoe polish from Dollar Tree. And I'm just going to add it to the ends like I'm doing right here. And then I kind of do go over it a little bit in the center as well. Depending on your style, you don't have to do this part, but I want to make all of these DIYs look really rustic today. I also grabbed some of these tiny little blocks from Dollar Tree. They have these in a pack there, and I went ahead and painted them and added some wax to those. I'm going to glue all of this together. Once I glue the shim to the star, then I'm going to add these blocks to the bottom so it can stand up straight. So I had this idea to make these cute little Christmas trees with some wooden dowels and beads. So I have this wooden dowel. I bought a pack from Walmart because I already ran out of my Dollar Tree ones. But again, Dollar Tree does sell the wooden dowels. So I'm going to cut 4 1.5-inch pieces of the second wooden dowel, and I'm going to hot glue them onto the other dowel. Now I'm going to hot glue them on here, and you can go however far down you want. This is going to be the bottom of my tree. Okay, now we're going to use my Waverly wax to paint this whole thing. Again, I like to water it down so the wax is not so dark, but you can do it however dark you want. I'm going to use these Dollar Tree red necklaces for this next part. This is going to go on the wooden dowels to create that Christmas tree look. Now, I was thinking of doing this or the wooden beads. I wanted to show y'all both ways, but I decided not to show you the other way just because it took me like 3 days to do this video. But what I'm going to do is just go over it a little bit with some of my wax just so it's not super bright red, because again, I want these to look really rustic because that's what you guys wanted to see. Now, my idea for if I would have done it with the wooden beads, you could easily just place the wooden beads onto a pipe cleaner and bend it to the shape that I'm going to show you right now with these necklaces and add it to the wooden dowels, just depending on the style you are going for. So to glue this on, I'm going to start off at one of these small dowels and add a dab of hot glue. I'm going to go ahead and add another dab of glue on top, and I'm going to take the end of the necklace and add it right there to the small dowel and then connect it to the top, and then go all the way around to the other side. Now I'm going to go on the opposite side and add more beads. You can leave it just like this for a specific look, but I wanted a more 3D look, so I'm adding it to the other dowels too. I'm cutting the dowel down to the size that I want, and then I also took another one of those small little wooden blocks from Dollar Tree. I already stained it, and I did use my drill bit to drill a hole about halfway down. That way I can hot glue the tree on there. And the last thing I did was make a simple little bow with that creamy yarn that I showed y'all in the last DIY, and I'm gonna hot glue it to the top of the tree.
Chilling and having a good time. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring. It will always be Christmas in my heart. But this year I wanna hang out with my friends and family, making angels in the sand. You ready? Doesn't matter, it is Christmas in my heart.
For DIY number 3, I'm going to make a wooden Christmas tree out of these Dollar Tree canvases. I got 6 right here, and I'm just going to remove everything including the canvas, so I'm just left with the wooden frames. Now I'm going to use some antique parchment apple barrel paint. These are 50 cents and I like to use the matte ones. I'm going to paint all of the frames with these, and I decided to do this more creamy color rather than a white because I really like the look of this paint. So to get the look of a Christmas tree, I'm going to set it up like this with 3 at the bottom, 2 in the middle, and 1 at the top. And then I'm going to hot glue all of the frames together.
I think Santa's gonna come and join us in this song. Doesn't matter if the snow is falling or the wind blows and the rain is pouring.
And what I like to do every time I glue frames together is add crab stick, so that way there's a more secured hold. So once I have all of those glued down, you can also paint the back as well. That way it doesn't look unfinished. And now I'm going to take my Waverly wax and start painting the edges and the sides the same way I did the star in the first DIY, just to give it that more rustic look. I'm going to make some small little wreaths to go inside of each frame. I'm going to hang them from each one. And what I used was an old Dollar Tree Christmas tree I had. I just cut off the branches and made wreaths with them. Just because I know they do have Dollar Tree garlands, but I don't have any more of those available or on hand. And you know, a lot of Dollar Trees already are selling out of a lot of the stuff just because, you know, it's getting closer to Christmas and everybody's buying everything. So just use what you have on hand. Now what I'm going to do is take more of those beads, the red ones from Dollar Tree, and I'm going to wrap them around each of the wreaths. And what I did to hold them in place is use some Dollar Tree floral wire. And I'm going to use some green twine from Dollar Tree. This came in a 2 or 3 pack from there. And I'm going to wrap them around the wreath and onto the frames. So the last thing I did was take one of these ornaments. You guys know, if you watched my last few videos, that I am becoming really obsessed with stars lately for Christmas. So I'm just going to take one of them and I'm going to add it to the top of the frame. For the next DIY, I am using this old frame. I'm going to make a sign with it. I'm just using the opposite side of it. So what I need to do is just repaint it. I'm going to use more of that antique parchment and go over it. I do have a Dollar Tree sign right here that I was thinking about using, but I decided not to. So just whatever you have on hand, you can use. I'm going to let that dry, and now I'm going to take this Dollar Tree gift bag. I've used it before for a previous DIY. You probably remember one of my first Christmas DIYs. I used it and I saved it because I thought maybe I could use the other side, and I do need to use it. I'm going to cut out the center part and use that on my sign. And now I'm going to glue them onto the sign. Now I'm going to add some dowels to the center of my sign to make some Christmas trees with them. So I'm going to stain them with my Waverly wax first. I'm also going to be staining some wooden beads, the ones that I always show y'all from Amazon. The only reason why I get them from there is just because, well, I've actually only bought one huge pack from there and it's lasted me for a really long time, and I still have tons of beads to do many, many more DIYs. So if you're interested in that, the Amazon link is below. I have a lot of my favorites in there. So I'm going to stain these and then I will cut them down to the size I want for my little trees to go on the sign. So here I have the 3 trees that I'm going to put on the sign, and here are the beads as well. So I'm going to take out the beads I'm going to use. They're basically going to go in the middle of the dowels to make it look like a tree. I'm going to start off with the center Christmas tree and start hot gluing that down. I'm adding a smaller dowel at the bottom of the little tree. And the last thing I did was make some bows out of that creamy yarn, and I'm going to add them to the top. For my last DIY, I have done this lots and lots of times and it is super easy, but I thought I'd show y'all anyways because they have some really pretty gift boxes at Dollar Tree. I thought these were so pretty. So what I wanted to do was make a sign. I have some really pretty like vintage like Santa gift boxes right here that I really like. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and make signs out of all three of them, but I'm gonna show you how easy it is. And this is 100% Dollar Tree. I'm gonna use some crab sticks from there. This is how I cut the crab sticks down to fit. Well, it doesn't completely fit it because I'm gonna cut the gift box down a little, but this is how I cut them down and they're super easy to cut. The Dollar Tree ones almost cut like paper. Now I'm gonna stain them with my Waverly wax and then we'll glue them onto the gift box. I'm going to trim off that little piece right there. And to finish the look or to finish up the sign, if you don't want to leave the back showing like the cardboard of the gift box, I'm going to take the white bottom part of the gift box that came in that pack and I'm just going to glue it to the back. Thank you for watching today's video. Let me know which one was your favorite. Remember, stay safe, be kind, and I will see y'all in the next one.